Welcome to day 1 of our Japan travel vlog series. In this first day, I'm going to cover our journey from Adelaide to Singapore, where we will stay overnight before flying into Tokyo tomorrow. I'm also going to show you where we stayed and what we did in Singapore for this layover. Namaskaram, this is Srideep and welcome back to Blossom Your Way, where we focus on growing what matters. Now, it's about 5:30 in the morning and we are leaving for the airport in just under an hour. We have been doing a few last minute checks and I just realized after packing the shampoo, conditioner and all those little bottles that one of our suitcases weighs 22 kilos. Now, the issue isn't the airline limit, it's our plan. We wanted to keep every bag under 16 kilos because we have heard that there is a lot of walking in Japan and sometimes stairs at train stations too. So we wanted to keep our bags as light as possible. So what I'm doing now is I just brought in another suitcase and I'm shifting all the perishable items that I'm carrying into this new one. I did pack few things because I plan to cook in Japan, so I'm moving all of those into this new suitcase. I also feel it's going to help us if I need to declare anything when we arrive in Japan, because everything will just be in one place. No matter how organized you think you are, something always changes at the last minute. But honestly, I'm glad we caught it now. It's better to carry an extra bag than struggle with heavy luggage. Now, if you're interested in finding out what we packed for Japan and how for a family of 4 we've managed to pack so light for a 2-week trip, I'm more than happy to share all of the tips. Please let me know in the comments below and I will make a separate video on that. Now it's 6:30 in the morning. Our taxi is here. We booked an Uber to come at 6:30. We wanted to make sure that we're in the airport at least by 7 o'clock. From our home, airport is about a 20-minute drive, and this early in the morning, the traffic is a bit light. Now, as we head to the airport, I just thought I'll share with you why we chose to travel to Japan at this time of the year. The popular visiting season is usually the cherry blossom season or the sakura season, which is usually March, April, in those months. Or another peak season is late October, early November, for those wanting to see the autumn beauty of Japan. And for those wanting to experience the snow side, it's usually December, January. Now, in Adelaide, this year, Term 3 finishes on the 26th of September. Now, my boys are going to miss 3 days of school, but I got a really good deal on the tickets. And the season that we are visiting is not apparently a very popular season. So I'm actually hoping that there may be less crowds. And also, from what I have heard and the research I have done, autumn leaves start to appear almost at the end of September and peaking by mid to late October. From the temperatures I've been watching, it doesn't seem like the summer has finished yet. So I'm crossing my fingers that at least we get to see a little bit of autumn and then enjoy the beauty. Now, Adelaide Airport is super efficient and pretty compact. Since we checked in online, we used the self-check-in kiosk to print our boarding passes, and then we also dropped off our bags. I did double check with someone to make sure that all the bags are being checked right through to Tokyo.
Yeah, all the way to Haneda, Tokyo.
Yeah, all right, thank you. Because it's less than 24-hour layover, the bags are getting checked right through. So we packed in a way so that we've got clothes for tonight's stay in Singapore as well. Now, today we are flying with Singapore Airlines, which we have used many times over the years of our travel. Now, it's not sponsored It's just our personal preference. Now, when we started looking at flights to Tokyo, we were really down to two options: Cathay Pacific and Singapore Airlines. Cathay Pacific had 3 connections and would land us at Narita Airport in Tokyo just after midnight. Now, Narita Airport is about 2 hours away from the city, and with kids, the idea of reaching Tokyo at 1 in the morning, finding transport, and settling in, it just did not sound fun at all. On the other hand, Singapore Airlines offered a much smoother route: Adelaide to Singapore in the afternoon, an overnight stopover, and then an early morning flight to Haneda. And Haneda Airport is only half an hour from where we are staying. Now, we have flown with Singapore Airlines multiple times before, and we've always had great experiences. Comfortable seats, lovely service, and reliable timings. But this time, what really made the difference was the schedule. It gives us a proper night's rest before the second leg of the journey. So we arrive fresh in Tokyo and we are ready to explore. Honestly, if you're traveling long distance with kids, it's worth thinking beyond just the price. The right flight timing can completely change the start of your trip. It's the difference between being exhausted on day 1 or feeling ready to take on Japan from the moment you land. Please don't ignore this. We haven't had breakfast in the morning. We just started straight after, around 6:30. The kids are a bit hungry. So we're just going to have some breakfast before we go into the international terminal. The kids just decided to eat some pancakes at McDonald's, so that's what we're just doing now. We're finished and then we will be heading to the international terminal now. Now, for anyone that's not aware or is flying overseas first time, water is actually not allowed through immigration. So you see this small sink here, so we have to actually empty our water bottle. So I always like to carry a refillable water bottle with me. So I'm just going to empty the water here and then we're going to go through immigration and then straight through to our gates. Now by the time we reached our gates, they had started boarding already. About 2 hours after takeoff, the meals arrived. The boys were really excited to choose from the in-flight menu. You can actually have a look at it online about a week before your flight. My husband and I had pre-ordered vegetarian meals, which you need to do at least 72 hours in advance. I felt the taste was okay overall. The pasties we got before landing were really nice, but the main veggie dish wasn't the best I've had. The veggies were a little undercooked, but I was so hungry, I just finished it all. Now we finally landed and we are going to go straight through to arrivals. As I mentioned earlier, we are actually staying in Singapore for tonight. Now the flight was actually supposed to land around 2:50 p.m., but we came in about half an hour early. Now as we walk towards the immigration hall here at Changi Airport, here's a quick tip. You can now fill out your Singapore arrival card online before you travel. They no longer give out paper cards on the plane. I have linked the official form in the description below. I feel doing it at home really saves time because I noticed that even at the airport, they're asking you to complete it online before proceeding. I noticed that all the immigration gates here are automated for passport scanning. It's super smooth and very efficient. Now, since we are staying overnight at Singapore, we had to exit the airport, and that means we will need a Singapore visa if our nationality requires one, even if it's just for a few hours. This is called a transit visa and it's usually quite easy to get. Now, you don't have to apply from your home country. You can do it online before you travel. For passport holders from Australia or New Zealand and many other visa waiver countries, you generally don't need to apply for a visa in advance if you're just transiting through Changi Airport. However, if you plan to exit the airport and into Singapore even for a few hours, you would need the appropriate entry visa. For us, we didn't need to apply for a visa, and of course, this information is based on my own experience. I always highly recommend you check the official Singapore immigration website if you're ever unsure. While we traveled to our hotel, I would like to share why we chose to stay where we did. Of course, the hotel didn't sponsor this video. It was just our personal choice. Now, since we have an early morning flight to Tokyo tomorrow, our first thoughts were to stay right at the airport. Yoto Air and Crown Plaza in Changi Airport were our top options. Yoto Air was around 400 Australian dollars for a family room for one night, and Crown Plaza required us to book 2 rooms since their family suite was not available at first. Later, they did offer the suite to us, but it was about 580 Australian dollars. We felt that was a bit too much for a short overnight stay. Now, we have always stayed near Marina Bay and city centre before in Singapore, but this time we found D Resort downtown east, just 7 minutes drive from the airport at around 211 Singapore dollars, which is equivalent to about 250 Australian dollars. And we felt that was a great find for just one night stay. And it's a family-friendly resort in a relaxed setting. And I felt it worked perfectly fine since we weren't planning to do any sightseeing given the short transit.
It feels like
Now,
rainforest
if you are
anyway.
visiting Singapore for a few days,
Beach
staying
Cove.
closer to
Beach
the
this way.
city would make more sense. But for a quick transit night like ours, this place really suited us. I will link the full room tour and D Resort walkthrough separately. Once we checked in, we decided to head out and explore the resort before it got dark. Now, it's just around 3:30 in the afternoon and classic Singapore weather. Hot and very humid. There is a beach nearby, so we thought we would take a little walk and check it out.
We're gonna get lost, Mommy.
At least we are. Oh, there it is. I can see. Please scan room card anta. Oh, that looks nice.
Mommy, we're not actually going on the beach, right?
You don't have to if you don't want to. That's fine. I think it's just nice so we can just cool down a little
Or can we
bit.
just like sit on the sand or something?
I would suggest not to sit on the sand because then all the clothes will get
Or
sandy.
just stand on the sand.
Yeah.
Sand and sand. I think it's like one.
But why is somebody camping out here?
We spent about an hour at the beach and
What
then
the hell?
wandered through the resort gardens for a bit. And we spotted some amazing birds. It was just so peaceful. Now, once we were finished at the gardens, we headed to a shopping mall, which was just 5-minute walk away. We grabbed some pizza for dinner and then made our way back to the hotel. It's about 8:30 now and we are calling it a day. Now, I will meet you all in the next video. If you have enjoyed our day 1 travel vlog, please don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends and family. Now, if you have ever visited Singapore and transited through Singapore, I would love to know where you stayed and why. Please share your experience in the comments below. I would love to hear your transit stories. I will see you all in the next episode, Day 2, where we fly from Singapore to Tokyo and start exploring the early highlights of our Japan journey. Until then, please keep growing what matters.